Padre Pio of Pietrelcina remains one of the most mysterious figures in modern Catholic history, who's a man who walked the line between earth and eternity with a grace few could comprehend. Known worldwide for the stigmata, for miraculous healings, and for reading hearts in the confessional, Padre Pio possessed another rare and unsettling gift. He could see, or at least sense, the state of souls after death. Those close to him, especially the monks who lived at his side, often testified that he knew things no man could know by natural means. Among the countless spiritual experiences attributed to him, two stories stand apart because of their emotional weight and the hope they offer to those touched by the darkest human suffering. These events, recorded by Factor Joseph Pius and biographer Bernard Ruffin, reveal how Padre Pio understood the mystery of souls who end their own lives, an act the Church calls grave, yet an act God alone judges with full knowledge of the heart. This is not just a story about sin. It is a story about suffering, mercy, and the unimaginable compassion of God in the final seconds of a human life. A knock at the window. One cold evening at San Giovanni Rotondo, a young man approached the monastery. He looked nervous, burdened, almost as if he carried the weight of an invisible world on his shoulders. He asked the porter if he could speak to Padre Pio. His request wasn't unusual. Thousands traveled from across Europe seeking the friar's counsel, yet something about his eyes seemed urgent. The porter explained that Padre Pio could not meet visitors at that hour, but the young man insisted. Still, the rules could not be broken, and eventually the poor soul walked away, shoulders slumped, as if he were walking in defeat. Hours later, in the stillness of the night, Padre Pio suddenly approached the porter with an expression the monk would never forget. With deep sorrow, Padre Pio whispered, "That young man, pray for him. He has just taken his life." The porter froze. It seemed impossible. The man had left only a short time ago. Yet Padre Pio spoke as though he had seen it happen, as though he had been there when the young man breathed his final, desperate breath. But what Padre Pio said next was even more shocking. He added quietly, "But he was not lost. In the final moment, he turned to God. His soul found a door that only mercy could open." Padre Pio later explained that even in the tragic instant of self-destruction, God can enter the heart with a beam of grace invisible to the world. A soul, even one swallowed by despair, may cry out silently inwardly, and that cry may be enough for God to save. This was not a denial of the seriousness of suicide. Padre Pio and the Church itself never diminished the pain it causes families or the gravity of the act. But the friar's vision revealed something deeper. God's mercy reaches further than human judgment. It reaches places we cannot see. Another account, recorded by Bernard Ruffin, involved a grieving mother whose son had thrown himself from a bridge during the First World War. She was tormented by the belief that his soul was damned forever. This fear ate at her heart every day, leaving her unable to sleep, unable to live with peace. Desperate, she traveled to see Padre Pio. Before she could even speak, the friar looked at her with profound tenderness and said, "Your son is saved." The woman burst into tears, but she was also confused. How could that be? He had died in what seemed to be a moment of despair. Padre Pio gently raised his hand to calm her. "Between the bridge and the water," he said, "God spoke to him. In that final second, he offered a small act of repentance. And God, who sees even the smallest movement of the heart, accepted it." This was not a romanticized story. It was consistent with Padre Pio's spiritual understanding. Time moves differently in the final moment of human life. What feels like 1 second to us may be a vast, silent space. To God, enough space for a soul to whisper a final plea for mercy. Padre Pio was not describing a guaranteed outcome. He was not saying every soul responds this way. But he had seen or been shown what happened to this particular young man. And in that knowledge was a powerful message. Never assume that a loved one is beyond God's mercy. Hope must never die. The Catholic Church has always taught that human life has profound value, and that taking one's own life is a grave matter. But over the years, the Church has increasingly emphasized something equally important. The full responsibility of the act may be diminished or even erased by extreme psychological suffering. In 1992 and again in 2018, the Church clarified that depression, trauma, and mental anguish can cloud judgment so deeply that a person may not be fully free. And if a person is not fully free, they cannot be fully guilty. More importantly, the Church proclaims with solemn hope, we should not despair of the eternal salvation of persons who have taken their own lives. God can provide the opportunity for repentance in ways known to Him alone. This teaching echoes exactly what Padre Pio demonstrated in his visions. God does not abandon a soul in its darkest moment. He enters it. In our world today, despair is far more common than many realize. Millions suffer silently, weighed down by economic hardship, broken families, addiction, anxiety, and inner battles no one can see. The rise of loneliness has become a hidden epidemic. The stories of Padre Pio's visions are not just religious tales. For this reason, they are reminders that no soul is truly alone. 2. God's mercy is deeper than any human failure. 3. Hope remains possible until the very last breath. These accounts also urge us to look at others with compassion. A person may appear calm on the outside, but be drowning inside. Padre Pio often said that one kind word, one gesture of love, one moment of listening could change the direction of a soul's life. He believed every Christian is called to be a bridge of hope for someone else, a message for anyone facing darkness. Padre Pio's visions do not glorify tragedy, they illuminate mercy. They remind us that God never stops loving a soul, even in its most fragile state. But they also gently warn us life is a sacred gift, and the path through suffering is never meant to be walked alone. For anyone who feels overwhelmed or broken, Padre Pio's message is clear. Reach out, speak to someone, ask for help. You are seen, you are loved, your life still has chapters to be written. And for those who mourn a loved one lost to despair, Padre Pio offers a second message. Do not lose hope, pray for them. Trust that God, who knows the hidden battles of every human heart, may have reached them in a moment no one witnessed. Padre Pio, with his extraordinary sensitivity to the invisible world, never denied the seriousness of taking one's own life. Yet whenever he encountered stories of despair, he responded not with condemnation, but with compassion, gentleness, and prayer. His visions teach us something timeless. God judges with truth, but He saves with love. And in those final mysterious seconds of life, seconds known only to heaven, His mercy may shine brighter than all the darkness that came before. Share and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful visions from Padre Pio.